Mondays 3 p.m., Saturdays 10 a.m. on Ebonadi 103.5 FM. Okidi.
Yes, it seems like the Fubara Wike feud in River State that everybody is getting what they want as Governor Fubara appoints ex-factional House Speaker Edison Ehi as Chief of Staff. Good afternoon and welcome to Political Views on Ebonade 103.5 FM. I am Martin Ifanshuku Ekezie. On our political space this afternoon, River State Governor Similai Fubara has appointed Edison Ehi as Chief of Staff. He also appointed 5 other special advisors. At the same time, the governor of Ondo, Makinde, forced the silence of the presidential candidate of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, over the bomb blast in Ibadan. A lot is happening. So let me bring you up to speed on the happenings in our political space this afternoon. The headlines. On the headlines on political space, this political views, this afternoon, Wasa, also the urges relentless fight against insecurity. Yoruba youths decry pervasive kidnappings in Southwest, tax governors on revamping Amotekun. Fubara swears in ex-factional speaker Ehi as chief of staff. Akeredolu anointed me as successor, says ex-Ondo commissioner. Promotion comes from God alone, Fubara declares. Makinde forced Atiku's silence on Ibadan explosion. Aftermath of Supreme Court judgments, Nigerians call for Electoral Act reform ahead 2027 polls. ECOWAS. Nigeria lost African brothers because of Western friends. Shehu Sani. Federal government to inaugurate 37-member committee on new national minimum wage. Kidnapped PDP boss Ivoji regains freedom. Now, the details. And the first story we have for you this afternoon on this particular edition of Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM, is Wasa. Also, the urges relentless fight against insecurity. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has applauded officers of the 34 Artillery Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Ubinze, for their commitment in the fight against insecurity in the state. He said the army officers are through their diligence and unwavering dedication contributed immensely in the successes recorded in the reduction of violent crimes and restoration of peace and stability in Imo. Those of them are represented by the Imo head of service, Barrister Raymond Uchoma, stated this at the 2023 West African Social Activity held at the Obinze Barracks Parade Ground over the weekend. The Imo governor pledged the continued support of the state government to the army command and urged them not to relent in their selfless services to the nation. He also prayed for the souls of soldiers who paid the supreme price in the fight for a peaceful Imo, as well as commiserated with their families over the loss. Earlier in his speech, the brigadier commander, Brigadier General Osman Lawal, reiterated his commitment and that of the command to fight against insecurity. Lawal thanked his officers and soldiers for their dedicated efforts towards ensuring peace and stability in Imo and urged them to redouble their efforts. He said that the efforts resulted in drastic reduction of oil theft, a successful Yuletide and a New Year celebrations, as well as a successful governorship election. He thanked the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarudi Labaja, for his fatherly leadership and immense support for the brigade. He also thanked Uzodinma for his ceaseless support, stressing that the ongoing exercise Golden Dawn III has recorded huge success in the state as a result of the governor's continued efforts. And the next story we have for you this afternoon: Yoruba youths decry pervasive kidnappings in Southwest, tax governors on revamping Amotekun. A body of Yoruba youth groups, Yoruba Youth Social Cultural Association, yesterday decried pervasive and pervading kidnappings in the Southwest. This was contained in a statement signed by Olalekan Hamad, National President, and Olawale Ajo, National Secretary, and made available to newsmen in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The association said it was perturbed with the alarming rate of kidnapping in Southwest and the entire country. The YYSA, while stressing the need to re-equip Amotekun Corps for effective service delivery if the region truly is serious about ensuring peace, urged the Southwest governors to do the needful as kidnapping terribly is becoming increasing day by day. Meanwhile, in the face of the kidnapping epidemic and insecurity across the country, the Ogun State government has urged citizens to be security conscious, noting that security is a collective responsibility of citizens and not solely the duty of security agencies and the government. The state commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs, Ganiyu Hamzat, who stated this during the in-house training for members of the staff of the Obas Complex, OK Mosan Abiyokuta, at the weekend, admonished them to be security and safety conscious by taking cognizance of their environment to enable them to live a peaceable life that is free of fear or danger. Hamzat, who was represented by the permanent secretary, Dr. Rotimolu Akinlesi, stressed that the importance of the training could not be overemphasized considering the state of insecurity in the country and its impact on workers in the effective discharge of their responsibilities. Still on the stories making rounds our political space this afternoon, Fubara swears in ex-factional speaker Ehi as chief of staff. After months of speculation, the River State Governor Similai Fubara will today swear in Right Honorable Edison Ehi as Chief of Staff, Government House, Port Harcourt, and 5 special advisors. After months of speculation, the appointment of Ehi as Chief of Staff, Government House, was confirmed in a statement signed by Dr. Tami Danagugu, Secretary to the State Government, SSG, on Sunday night. It will be recalled that the resignation of Edison Ehi before now as the factional Speaker of the State House of Assembly sparked debate in some quarters about his political future and even that of his principal, Fubara, following the heat of the political tumult that has engulfed the state since October 29. Ehi led a 4-member faction of the River State loyal to Fubara, given the split of the legislative chamber between supporters of the governor and lawmakers loyal to the FCT minister Yeson Wike, led by Right Honorable Martin Amawelu. Edison's surprising resignation as Speaker and lawmaker was believed by political observers across Nigeria to be the fulfillment of part of the controversial peace agreement brokered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aimed at settling the crisis in Rivers State between Fubara and his estranged godfather Wike. Also, Governor Fubara will equally swear in special advisors who will help him facilitate good governance in the state following his Supreme Court victory last week. Those to be sworn in as special advisors include Dr. Darlington Orji, a former state publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party, who recently resigned as the chief of staff in Ikwerre Local Government Council area. Others include Prince Solomon Abel Eke, former caretaker committee chairman Obiakpo local government area, Barrister Fim Beresima, Engineer Dia Baren, and Ohia Prince, the newly appointed chief of staff and special advisors, along with one guest each, are expected to be seated at the Executive Council chambers at the Government House Monday, January 29, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. for the swearing-in ceremony by His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State at 11 o'clock a.m., the Rivers State SSG said in the statement. And the next story we have for you this afternoon, Akeredolu anointed me as successor, says ex-Ondo commissioner. Ahead of the forthcoming governorship election in Ondo State, a former commissioner for finance in the state, Mr. Wale Akinterenwa, has declared that he will be the next governor of that state, Akinterenwa, who was among the members of the State Executive Council that was dissolved last week by incumbent Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, said he was ready to contest the governorship election. Speaking to newsmen on Friday, the former commissioner said the late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu had a discussion with him to become the next governor of the state. He said Akeredolu told him to gear up for the position. Akintarewa said the late Governor Akeredolu had a discussion with me in his office and he told me he would want me to take over from him. I didn't take particular notice of the date he had the discussion with me, but it happened immediately after he came back from his trip to Germany. He prayed for me, and I'm aware he told certain people about his desire. On his chances of picking the governorship ticket of the All Progressive Congress in Ondo, Akinterenwa said, well, at the appropriate time, I will officially announce my intention because it is not in doubt that I am still making further consultations, but I can assure you that I will get the ticket. The people of Ondo are with me, and I'm very confident that I will win the APC primary. Akinterenwa, among other Ondo APC stalwarts, will be contesting the party's governorship primary with Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who was sworn in on December 27, 2023, hours after the death of Akeredolu in Germany. Still on the stories making rounds our political space this afternoon. Promotion comes from God alone, Fubara declares. Rivers State Governor Similaye Fubara has declared that promotion comes from God alone, stating this that his elevation and eventual triumph in his current political journey was made possible by God. Fubara explained that he was first promoted by God, who later stirred the hearts of leaders and members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to agree on presenting him as their governorship candidate to win the election. The governor spoke yesterday at the 2024 Port Harcourt Holy Ghost Rally of the Redeemed Christian Church of God with the theme Promotion for a Purpose, which was held at the Adokiye Amesaka Stadium, Igrutali, in Ipere Local Council. The governor described the theme of the rally as a personal gift because it directly reflected on his own story. Expressing confidence in God to make it permanent, he said, I was promoted by God first through my party and the leaders, so promotion comes from God and God alone. Let me take the theme of the rally to be a personal gift from RCCG because the theme is not different from my story. I have a Thanksgiving in my place where I will return this wonderful success in Thanksgiving to the only person, God, who made it permanent, who make it permanent, and who will make it permanent and forever, he stated. And the next story we have for you this afternoon, Makinde forced Atiku's silence on Ibadan explosion. state capital. 5 people were confirmed dead, while 77 sustained varying degrees of injuries, and 58 houses were damaged during the explosion that rocked Adeji, Old Bodija in Ibadan. Makinde made his position known in Ibadan while receiving the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, P2B, during his visit to the governor's office to commiserate with the government and the people of the state. He further noted that Atiku's silence sent a troubling message about his character and judgment. The governor said, "Let me use this opportunity to thank the former governor of Anambra State and presidential candidate of the Labour Party, P2B, for the visit. I thank him because politics did not seep into this. You came here to commiserate with us over the explosion. Investigation is ongoing. It was simply illegal miners storing explosives in an environment where they shouldn't be. It is a place where it's meant for people to live in. It is not a mining site. So all the lapses that allowed such to happen have been looked into. I am particularly grateful because the musketeers that went for the presidential election have reached out to me. The president has called me. You have reached out to me, but my own party candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has not called or even sent a text message. And I am saying it openly so that our leaders will know that there is time for politics. You have a time for governance and you have a time for humanity. So this effect on the masses will be called for a cut in the cost of governance at the federal level as a necessary sacrifice to move the country forward. Still on our political space, aftermath of Supreme Court judgments, Nigerians call for Electoral Act reform ahead 2027 polls. Political observers in the country have expressed concerns about Nigeria's electoral process in the aftermath of the overwhelming judicial interventions in the outcome of the 2023 general elections. In the final analysis, many have made a rallying call for a review of some sections of the Electoral Act 2022. Indeed, the judiciary played a starring role in deciding the outcome of the 2023 elections conducted between February and March. Indeed, the judiciary played a starring role in deciding the outcome of the 2023 elections conducted between February and March. The Supreme Court had the final say in at least 15 governorship elections, as well as determining the winner of the keenly contested presidential poll. This has led many Nigerians to worry about the state of the country's democracy. Ironically, while a significant number of Nigerians are resentful about the general conduct of the election, the Independent National Electoral Commission has seemingly given itself a pass mark for a good job, taking the verdict from the courts as its vindication. In a meeting with the leadership of the political parties on December 18th, 2023, INEC Chairman Prof. Mahmoud Yakubu disclosed that the court had ordered the commission to conduct rerun elections in 34 constituencies made up of 1 senatorial district, 11 federal constituencies, and 22 state constituencies, which constitute a mere 2.8% of the 1,191 petitions filed by litigants after the general elections. Significantly, out of the 34 rerun elections, the INEC boss pointed out that it was only in 3 cases that the commission was ordered to conduct an election in an entire constituency, adding that in the other 31 constituencies, elections are to be held in few polling units. The undertone is loud and clear. If litigations were to be a referendum on the performance of INEC, then the electoral umpire could boldly say it has done extremely well and should not even be thinking of further improvements. This belief was amplified by the youth wing of Ohaneze Ndigbo, the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization, which recently declared that the decisions of both the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal on the 2023 general elections have vindicated INEC. At the face value, this could not be further from truth, with most of the cases dispensed by the Supreme Court. The victory of all the governors was upheld. The court delivered judgments on appeals challenging the outcome of governorship elections in Gombe, Kebbi, Ogun, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Delta states on January 19, 2024. This was after the Apex Court had decided the fate of 10 state governors: Hyacinth Alia of Benue, Alex Oti of Abia, Daoud Alawal of Zamfara, Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, Cross Rivers Basi Otu, Ebonyi's Francis Nwifuru, Kanu's Abba Yusuf, Akwa Ibom's Umo Eno, and Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State. Still on our political space this afternoon, ECOWAS, Nigeria lost African brothers because of Western friends. Shehu Sani, former lawmaker and social critic, Senator Shehu Sani on Sunday said that Nigeria lost East African blood brothers because of Western conditional friends. The statement followed the report that military regimes in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have withdrawn their memberships from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Sani stated that their withdrawal from ECOWAS was a serious setback for West Africa. Newsmen reported that the leaders of the three Sahel nations disclosed this in a joint statement on Sunday. Recall that all three were suspended from ECOWAS, with Niger and Mali facing heavy sanctions. According to the military juntas, it was a sovereign decision to leave the Economic Community of West Africa states without delay. However, the former lawmaker stated that the development signified the failure of diplomacy and dialogue. The withdrawal of Mali, Niger Republic, and Burkina Faso from ECOWAS is a serious setback for West Africa. It signifies the failure of diplomacy and dialogue. We lost our African blood brothers because of our Western conditional friends. We sacrificed our hands to keep our wrist watches, Sani wrote on his X handle. And the next story we have for you this afternoon, federal government to inaugurate 37-member committee on new national minimum wage. The federal government has assembled a 37-person committee tasked with proposing a new national minimum wage on Tuesday, January 30th, at the council chamber, Presidential Villa State House, Abuja. The spokesperson for the office of the secretary to the government of the federation, Shegu Imosen, disclosed this in a statement. The existing minimum wage set at 30,000 naira per month was approved in 2019 following the passage of the minimum wage bill by the National Assembly. The labor unions demanded an increase on the 30,000 naira minimum wage, citing rising inflation and the naira's depreciation. President Bola Tinubu, after his swearing into office, promised that his administration will provide a living wage for Nigerian workers because the existing national minimum wage was not enough. In Nigeria, I shall have the honor and privilege to lead from May 29. Workers will have more than a minimum wage. You will have a living wage to have a decent life and provide for your families, Tinubu said. The committee to be inaugurated on Tuesday, January 30th, boasts a diverse list of members, including representatives from the federal and the state government, the private sector, and organized labor. The former head of civil service of the federation, Buka Aji, will chair the group tasked with navigating the complex and often contentious issue of the minimum wage. From the federal government, the members include Nkiruka Onyejocha, Minister of State, Labor and Employment, representing Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, Wallo Edu, Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Atiku Bagudu, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Yemi Esan, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Nnamdi Maurice Mbairi, Permanent Secretary, GSO, OSGF, and Ipo Nta, Esquire, Chairman, CEO, NSIWC, Member, and Secretary. Also from the state government, Muhammad Umar Bago, Governor, Niger State, a representative from the North Central, Bala Muhammad, Governor of Bauchi State, a representative from the Northeast, Umar Diko Rada, Governor of Katsina State, a representative from the Northwest, Charles Soludo, Governor of Anambra State, a representative from the Southeast, Senator Ademola Adeleke, Governor of Osun State, a representative from the Southwest, and Otu Basi Edet, Governor, Cross River State, a representative from the Southwest. From the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, Adewale Smart Oyerinde, Director General, NECA, Chuma Nwankwo, Thompson Akpabio, and also members from the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture include Michael Olawale Cole, National President Ahmad Ahmed Rabiu, National Vice President, and Humphrey Ngonade, National Life President, among others. And the last story we have for you this afternoon, before you can call in and tell us what you think of all of this: kidnapped PDP boss Avoji regains freedom. The Lagos State spokesman of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Hakim Amode, has confirmed the release of the kidnapped state party chairman, Mr. Philip Avoji. In a message on Monday, Amode, the Lagos State PDP publicity secretary, told the newsmen in Lagos that Avoji was released after he had spent 4 days with the kidnappers. We use this opportunity to appreciate your prayers and to thank you all for your concerns and prayers, Amode said. Avoji was kidnapped on Thursday at Obere area of Ogun on the Ibadan-Lagos Expressway. The party chairman was returning from the PDP Southwest Zonal meeting in Ibadan, Oyo State, on Thursday. The abductors had earlier contacted his family demanding for a 200 million naira ransom, but Amode would not confirm whether or not there was any payment before his release. The party thanked security agencies and government authorities that facilitated his freedom. Yeah, there you have it. River State Governor Fubara has appointed Edison Ehi as a chief of staff. This is like the major story in our politics this afternoon. And the question remains: what does this mean for the Fubara Wike feud that is ongoing in River State? A lot to talk about this afternoon. What is your take on all that is going on in our political space this afternoon? The numbers you call and then you become part of the conversation remains 070-3445-9334 or 070-4559-2210. Let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this? You will also remember that the governor of Oyo State, Makinde, is also worried about the silence of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, over the bomb blast in Ibadan. What is your take on all of this? Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Yeah, I'm calling from Onitsha.
Your name, please.
Prince Izuchukwu.
Okay. Please go on, Izuchukwu. Oh, please, Prince, call back. We need to hear from you. What is your take on all that is going on in our politics this afternoon? Let's hear from you right about now. Hello. Oh, please, call back. It seems like we're having issues with network, but just keep the calls coming. We need to hear from you. What is your take on all of this? Hello.
Good afternoon, my very good friend, Meta.
Good afternoon, my brother. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing very great, and you?
We thank the Lord. Welcome.
Atiku Emeka reaching us all the way from Alabama this afternoon. Thank you very much for that.
Go on.
Yeah, let me take on the issue of agitating for electoral reform.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Okay.
Something that I had in the past been agitating for. Remember when the Electoral Act of 2021 was signed by the former president, which gave the to resign immediately if you want to vie for election of any choice of yours.
Yeah.
Now, in the Constitution, it is not so. Whereas the Electoral Act stipulates such, the Constitution is very different. Then I was agitating for somebody to go to court, although somebody went to court and the court quashed it, noted it, but the person was is not a local standing the case. That's why the case was quashed. But why I'm talking about this is maybe tomorrow political football, you must transmit results
electronically.
You understand? You see, calling for electoral reform is not the issue. The issue is what do you want the electoral reform to say?
Okay.
What exactly do you want to be stipulated there? And Atiku is saying that I will like when they are doing it over again, if that's the case, if they will do it, that they should stipulate it very clear that you must, just like you must use beavers to accreditate, that is there. That is not a contention. It is there that you must.
Yeah.
Let them stipulate it clear that you must transmit results. If it is not done, that result will be invalid. Let's put it straightforward like that, so there won't be a loophole.
Okay.
Then, on the issue of nomination of what do you call it, candidates, whereas we are made to believe that the judiciary is the last hope of a common man.
Yeah.
And now for Germany South constituency, and I am from APC, I cannot look into what happened in your primary or whatever else went, and we are going into the same election. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying here.
Okay.
And you are telling me I have no right unless I'm a member of Africa. Whereas the judiciary is very clear. Our justice is very clear. Anybody who is aggrieved can go to court and fight for justice.
Yeah.
Now, because I'm not a part and parcel of Africa, I cannot talk about what happened. Whether you took the back door to obtain the ticket finally, I cannot look into it. Whether you did mago, and me and you are supposed to be vying for that particular seat. Because I'm not from your political party, I cannot say anything unless I'm from your political party. Then what is judiciary all about? What is constitution all about? If someone cannot agitate on what somebody else did, unless you're a family member of that person, you are telling me that is judiciary. No. So they should look into that, my very good friend.
Okay.
They should critically look into about this nomination and make it very clear that anybody, even if you are not vying for any position, as far as you're a Nigerian citizen and you are concerned about loopholes that brought somebody to illegality, that brought somebody as a candidate of any political party, you, even a madman, can go to court and set it right. Instead of telling me that I have to be a party member of this before I stick to the case. When the judiciary is very clear, last hope for a common man. I don't know if you understand where I'm getting to.
Okay. But it's still, when it gets to this, it still, matters when it comes to the party. You might be saying something about the party and then you might be wrong about what you're saying. That's another thing.
How can I be wrong when the judiciary is the last hope for a common man? It is established for people who are aggrieved. Okay. Now, I am aggrieved that somebody did a wrong thing, that they took illegal way to do something, and you are restricting me from agitating because I'm not part and parcel of that.
Okay.
Just like now, you are telling me that, for example, all these people that are reporting people that rape people, for example, somebody raped somebody in your yard, I cannot talk because I'm not the part of the one. Is that what you are telling me?
Okay.
Why are we urging people to say what we see?
We will allow others to come in now so that maybe when you get back, we'll continue on this. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
I just want to picture it clear so people will understand my education.
Okay.
You, that somebody raped somebody in your yard and you cannot say anything, use it as an example of what I'm talking to understand.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Let's allow others now to come in. Thank you so much. Yes, the numbers once again is 07034459334 or 07045 592210. Let's hear from you right about now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Please go on, sir.
Can I use Igbo?
Yes, use Igbo, sir. So Igbo, Mwechi su Igbo. So Igbo.
Ihe nchọ itinye na alaki moto a ndị Burkina Faso na Nigeria si wee ụwa nwee ka ọ dị na imekwu anya ọ dị ma na ọ dị na ụmụnna ọ dị na nwanne echewe ha mmadụ chọọ ka ịzọ dị n'ala things na-edevelopụ ama m ihe Afrịka na-agha aghọ Then they are taking on one for the people are then they are overlooked. I don't have a bad word. So I go to a change we have the constant because they would change it to anything that is constant. So Africa cannot look how come to a house where but not I have what you might call you in an age because in the matter. Oh, go to Nigeria, who in your now. Almost religion now, how money buy, and I put me a religion pool, and how money go, somebody using at the money culture. All those things, nobody you is a part of the world, and I can use.
Okay. So, man, he believe when if Senator Sani Neku that Nigeria lost African blood brothers.
I lost. West Africa guy about it. How more you mean I about it now? So no, Nigeria. So we do well. I bet children get had well. Children get mother to buy a so, Manian, the Gwana high, they were go to hang them or the okay. But all about year black man. Yeah, Kappa with go about somewhere or a man or walk. So I can join you on.
Dalo, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Dalo. Yes, 07034 459334 or 07045 592210. Remember that we're also talking about the fact that also them urges relentless fight against insecurity in Imo State. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mentalistic Matter.
Welcome, my brother. How are you doing this afternoon?
Happy New Year.
I wish you the same too.
It's been long, Mr. Martin.
Yeah. So
this is the voice of Lord Samuel. Okay. I'm evangelist. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Please go on, sir.
So, Mr. Martins, I want to consider the issue of Uzotima and the Yoruba youth calling for security commitment to tackle the terror in the country.
Yeah.
The Martin, one peaceful and economic base of Africa is now being taken over by known political traitors who employ their terrorist armies all over the country to terrorize for their personal and selfish interests. A country that was once graced with trust of one another is now piling up distrust and agony among member states. And it's a very terrible situation.
Okay.
The worst is that a country where the government rejects the best options presented by its citizens to tackle the menace of terror rampaging the country as a result of political sabotage. When the country refused, the government rejects the option given to the government on how to tackle the crime in the country. What do you expect of such a government? There is a serious moral blindness in the country right now so far. As a result of the treacherous manner of our supposed representatives in their respective offices, where the speakers refuse to speak and there is silence in the space. So what will your press do? And that is the position we are right now, rather than to fight for themselves. And the terrible one is that evil that is yet to be exposed and yet to come. Mr. Martin, there is no way we will overcome the evil in this country when government refuse to arrest and punish those who sponsor this evil. It has been made known to the federal government. And several times they said they will establish the names of these people. Up to now, what did they? There is no practical evidence that shows the true readiness of Nigerian government to end this evil in the country. That is, this evil is fast destroying the greatness of this country, and they don't fear. Otherwise, how can the same government employ the very man who employed terrorists into this country as a vice president? If this country is ready to fight terror.
But that particular fact is not standing. It's not a fact though yet. It's just maybe speculations. It is speculations.
You know the reason why for long I refuse to all these flag walks? It's because of this your manner.
And no, we have to, we have to look into all the facts. We have to,
Yes,
and
but
when statement like this is made, we need, better facts, like, okay, the way it was done.
Mr. Martin, the fact is real, is everywhere. Call your colleagues on Delta TV. Let them give you the audio and everything. It is being stuck in the on the internet. It's there everywhere.
Okay,
So
but when we now have that fact, we can now talk about that truly, if it is fact. So, but continue. Yeah.
So what I am saying in essence is that you cannot become evil and tell me you are fighting evil. Nowhere.
Okay.
So if the government of Nigeria is ready to fight the evil, why should they have someone who has a record of employing terrorists to become the second in the country?
Till we establish that, properly, that we can now talk about it on that. But looking at the insecurity, just venture into that, and then let's allow others to come in now, please.
So what I am saying in summary is this: let's be a practical evidence by the federal government that they are ready to fight this evil in the country, because the primary reason and purpose of instituting a government is to have the government that protects the lives and property of the people. But the government of Nigeria has failed to that extent.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's allow us to come in. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this? Remember that we're also talking about the fact that Oyo State Governor Makinde he faulted the silence of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. What is your take on all of this? Let's hear from you right about now. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Meta.
Yes. Good afternoon, my brother.
Good.
Welcome.
There is a place you read on where we go.
Your name and location first, and then you go on, sir.
Akidi.
From. No, please go on now. Hello. Okay, I didn't get you. Let's hear from you right about now. What is your take on all that is going on in our political space this afternoon? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, my brother. How you doing? No.
Like only supporter before yourself. If I had you, can you so onye bombo madala enwetara afe shetima onwere onye amaha so no ihe na-agba m ike dị na nnukwu ebe ọshọ ndị na fon o nwere ebe o ga-enye ozugbo ha ọnkọpịta children so agwụ eziokwu
ọ bụla na-asị mụ na gị ma na social media na a na-eme things up na social media anyị ama na-eji ihe mekisi up na social media wee were ya wee na-akpọ fact on a very good day welezi ya na-akata afọ mmadụ on air. We can't do that, and you also remember that a lot of, like you in particular, they're very relentless in tarnish the name of a person without a particular fact of if you're not just at the end of the day, but we'll have facts before we say such things up here. So you'll be very careful when you give. We must be objective in anything we are saying. So that's exactly what we are doing here. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Hello, Martin.
Yes. Good evening, my brother. Welcome.
Good evening.
No.
It's my name is Ipokoya, calling from Oka.
Okay, please go on, sir.
Because I make a allow so certain things in the air.
Yeah.
You see, how can somebody accuse someone which is not even a fact? How can you prove it? What he's saying now?
Yes, I like it. As he's saying it now, he's supposed to present it like, okay, this is where it happened, this is how, and not just speculations. And then that's the thing.
No, he fails to understand that you have to protect your image.
I have to also protect the person. It is my responsibility to protect such a person, the person that he wants to tarnish the person's image. I have to, till we have that.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
There are some certain things you don't say. So it's a suspect, and what they are just saying that they are here. Did you is it there when they find him in the man house?
That's the thing.
I don't like it when you're saying something, you have to be objective.
Yeah.
You're talking to the public.
Yes.
And not only that, we should not be presenting sentiment, whatever we are saying.
Yeah.
You know that the issue of security is the whole Nigeria have failed at the issue of security. Nobody is you can point is this person fair. All of them fair.
Yeah.
Including his too. You understand my point?
Yeah.
Because insecurity is everywhere. It's really the domain. So what you say is the moral decay and lack of commitment in peace in this country, what we are lacking. The government intention, you are pointing one person. Like all of them, most of all of them they are giving security vote. What are they giving it for?
That's the thing.
They are giving the drink of fire for 20 people and they are not using it. They are taking someone that they say, I was in Nigeria, I don't know things.
Yeah.
If we find them, that I still not doing the
Which we know that some of these things could be also political propagandas to use against the person, you know?
No, it's not. It's a political propaganda because it is not even so the person. They say, let us not using it against anyone.
Yeah.
Let us fight our common enemy that Nigeria has failed in terms of good governance.
Yeah.
You understand my point?
Okay.
You blame people that you have elected, not that they are not giving the evidence of democracy for people. Not a particular individual you are pointing at this finger.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Thank you for your understanding too. You know, one thing we must learn to stop that issue of, you know, scapegoating or like, you know, that's the thing. And then some people will become sacred cow and then we will not give that objectivism in trying to talk about what we want to talk about. Let's hear from you right about now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Welcome.
Mr. Martin.
Welcome, sir. Your name and location again.
Yes, this is the voice of Lost Evangelist.
Okay.
Calling from Mabaya.
Okay, please go on, sir.
But I want to talk about Kubara.
Yeah.
Appointing the new head.
Yeah.
But before I say that, I want to talk about this, the last speaker that is so coward.
No, don't use that such words on him. I need you to apologize for calling him a coward. It's not proper. Okay, please, let's have another person. You don't insult people, you know, just go straight to your own, you know, give your own opinion and don't insult anybody. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Good afternoon once again,
Yes.
Mr. Meta.
Welcome, my brother.
I'm back.
Please.
Meta, extremism is a disease.
Yeah.
If one understands what extremism is, when somebody is an extremist,
Yeah.
they will come like a saint, address themselves as a pope, God, Virgin Mary, then they start showing their extremist character.
Yeah.
It is only a man who is highly learned, inclined, that will know when extremists talk.
Okay.
Now, Meta, I now assume that the picture of Takubo and Tinubu, now Tinubu is a militant.
Since then.
You understand?
but,
Maybe the Taliban is a militant. Maybe by 2027, the pictures will be flooding on the internet. See a militant leader. See a militant leader. You understand? It is only extremists that goes that way, that understands it, that cannot understand that there is fake, there is real reality and fake in this world.
Yes.
It is only an extremist that cannot extract sentiment from the real fact and issue.
And we live in the age of artificial intelligence where anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
Yeah. And it is only an extremist that can never understand you unless he is unless. No, let me not say unless. It is only an extremist that will never understand fact and reality because he doesn't want to believe in what you're saying, except that thing that their leader or other people they believe in, or the political party he is inclined or she is inclined with. He's saying, you understand, without their own mind. If you have your own mind, you can be able to extract sentiment, propaganda from the real fact of anything, both politics, both agriculture, health, or education, whatever. You will be able to detect which one is political game and which one is fact. Which one is to defend the character of a person, which one is to rubbish a person, which one is real. So what I'm trying by 2027, Jagaban will become a militant because of a single picture of him and Kakubwa. Remember that Chesima was the governor there, and he was invited, Sokoto or whatever his name was invited as an negotiation. Okay, for example, now they were calling for negotiation. Had it been that Nnamdi Kanu was allowed to come to a round table with the president, Tinubu, Buhari there to negotiate, maybe next tomorrow or whatever, the Hausa people will be using it against an Igbo presidential candidate or whatever. I mean, or the Yoruba people will be using it against an Igbo candidate. You understand?
Okay.
That you understand? Or maybe Nnamdi Kanu and Tito shook hands. You understand? Some other people will use it. Some other people who believe that IPOB is a terrorist organization, they will use it as a sentiment. And the people that here will be now, they will know something now, telling you, no. Start defending. No, it is a sense. The other one is sense. But when it comes to other people, they don't want to know. It is far. It is the reality. It is only an extremist mentality that can invite thought. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us again this evening, my brother. Thank you. Yes, let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this? 07034 459334 or 07045592210. Remember that we are also talking about, the appointment of the factional House of Assembly Speaker, as the SSG now in River State. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome. Gabani Rusa. Oh.
Insecurity. Ụfọdụ ihe na-emekọ n'obodo anyị siri aka ha na-eme. Ụfọdụ ndị butere enweghị nchekwa ahụ bụ ndị nke ha nwazụrụ, mana abịa a na-akọrọ anyị akụkọ akọbido n'akụkọ akọrọ anyị nọ insekuriti ọ ya faịtị ya. Ndị ozugbo abịa na-eti ụlọ mmadụ ọkụ na-aga. Enwere m ụlọ ndị a na-eti ọkụ n'ime obodo, ma ndị sekuriti a bụ n'ime obodo ya n'ime taụnshipu a ka esi ebe a na-etiti ya bụ ụlọ ọkụ. Ọkwa ọtụtụ n'ime ha dị n'ime ọhịa, agaghị eje ebe ahụ. Ụlọ dị mma nọkwa fụ na ndị ahụ na-eti ọkụ, fụ na ndị ahụ ya wepụtara maọbụ ndị enwepụtara ndị ya atụrụ ya ndị sekuriti.
Mana ịmana mmụọ bụ anyị tizi gosi na ọ dịrị exactly ka ọnyanwa wepụtara ndị nke ị na-ekwu kịta. Ma ọ bụ ikwuru ihe kwuo adịa ma ọ bụ na ya, that means I had rush na ihe ị na-ekwu na ihe like ndị ọ wepụtara n'aka ọsọ dị ihe nwe ikwu bụ ihe na-aka ọsọ in the first place.
Ngwa ga-esi na ihe nkwu ebe a. Okwu ọbụla nkwuru ana m ejipendị ihe. Ekwuru m sị na ụfọdụ sekuriti ahụ na-abụ ndị dere nwụkwọ na-abụ ndị ahụ nwa wetara tinye ka ya rụọra ha ọrụ aja arụkwa ọrụ ọjọọ. Oge ka ọ bụ na ya nwa ama anyanwụ gịnị ka ya nwa mezi ka na ndị etu agụ ahụ na-aga nkwa ma ngwe ndị nwa kwuru na news nsogbu tinye ọnụ na-aba ndị egbu agụ mana ka na-arụ ọrụ n'Imo steeti. Yes, na nweta anyị na-eji mbọchị anụ ebe nwanne ya akọ na-agba nya m agwa m ya na-eme na bịa na-amụkwa ndị etu agụ aka na-arụ ọrụ ụlọ dị mọchị ya na-afụ ya ka m gwa gị eziokwu nwa maka ya mụ ba aghụghọ oke ya amaghị egbu anya ba aghụghọ na nwadị ịsịnụ na ihe na-eme na steeti ya mụọ nyanwakwa onye isi ama na steeti ọtụnye ahụ ndị na-emi ya
another thing bụkwa na ịsokwa na mmadụ gwa gị yọta ihe experience
na-aka ha na-eme ya na-eme na mmadụ pụtara mbọchị a wee na-akọpel ya na-eme na be afụrụ ọrụ ọmụọ ya egwu
onye agbere ten anyị afụ n'anya yọta fụ na midia ọfụma wee na-ekwu
ebe ọ bụla onye obodo na-eme nke dị na benye kekochapụzi anya ọzọ mgbe eji gbuo onye ọbụla isi
enwekwa ndị na-speculate kwa ife enwekwa ndị we know like even apart from politics godu ọkwa enwe ndị ma bụ ha nọdụ ha just speculate ife without ọbụghị politics ka a na-ekwugoro yet mana ha ga-especulate m ife ọ dịka ife ahụ eme mana omelọ ya mana ameji facts ya na mmadụ kpọlụ kwuo
na mmadụ kwuru okwu na oge onye kwuru okwu na o mere nwaanyị ike na-ebu ụlọ ọkụ ije ebe akwa ebe juru n'ọkụ mgbe ndị amị Naịjirịa juru n'ọkụ na ya na-atụgbakọ
mba nke haifo si mba haifo nke reprisal mba we know nke reprisal haifo that one before the governor self condemn we tinye aka wee reshuffle gbakwa dozibekwa the entire situation at the end of the day so ọ bụ ma nke reprisal haifo nke a anyị ejide fact nke akwa wee malụkwazi wee na-ekwukwa site okay ngwa na-agakwa n'iru steeti na-aga n'iru steeti anya na-eji n'aka mana imam blame kwano onye chọrọ ịdị shọ because na onye a na-adị careful ka ọ ghara imegide mmadụ journalism is my brother so and journalism in the third world as well so other is my brother I got wrap here up ebe ka anyị nabata onye ọzọ kapa ma ịbatakwa we continue from where we stop okay thank you so much for joining us this evening my brother Dalo. Yes, let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all that is going on in our political space this evening? Hello. Yes, welcome my brother. Biko Gabaniru. Oh?
Yes. The key is insecurity and I define the other word terrorism.
Okay.
Word terrorism means when a person or maybe a group of people it will maybe some man onye agbata obi nwanyị a na-agụ ama question what to do. Even though we go to the you be afraid to call him to order, to express your view, because now all the arms to defeat. Your view, because now all the arms to defeat. This is in simpler terms. This is what it means. Nigeria in the empathy free from this terrorism. And a work here. Tomorrow region is free from this terrorism and a work here. Because from the comments can go here, so we discuss you read out what you said and what other people said about this. Because even you were trying I saw Kairi police in this nation. I saw Kao with opposite. I need to get there, but often I thought of my opposite.
Okay.
No, so when you let us all accept that like the human was in support of what they are doing. Boko Haram in particular. This go although some men around here. Or the human particular. Niger Delta kidnapping and they were there. Some people who are fortunate, they will not come out from their den. The human force to the den. The problem for the problem Nigeria, the Omago, out of for the leg, we are out to analyze. If one of the same people who got no thank God for no government. And you man who even now one hour they people America you cannot see people that will be bold enough to speak against their ear. All that terrorism because it takes almost of killings and one about it. We don't comment about it here. If you go to the God to read it out, you will see that nobody will comment about it. The same thing you na church na Christmas Eve. You na Ebonyi State na church, Gab na church.
Yes.
Nobody commented about it. Man, I got this. Every man I had a comment to my other side by if I need a match or Makana, I not against them. For Makana, I like Ibadan. Over now, Makana, I like Ibadan. Which means we are terrorists ourselves. Pointing fingers cannot stop this menace. I'm not a believe now. Only have support to take an old party. As far as God will go beyond letter, he can never stop. He will continue. You are the next. You want to call it, I will be the next. So, terrorism, let's nobody point accusing fingers or that. Now, the victors when the Nigeria, I've only parent of who, but they are used. They will increase kidnapping and
banditry.
Yes. So, until we start interrogating things, that's why, why people go out and but they have to do. I'm not about them. I don't go to the other. Oh, Kelly, I didn't tell you why I'm going to Southeast. Or go to me terrorists in the Southeast. Oh, yeah, down a person. No, go out here and the beautiful problem over. Matanambo Christian. Christians, they are the Muslim never go if come to get to go. Matanam, the denomination, maybe a number like that. Now, all that denomination there to get your holy. This is the problem.
Okay.
I will continue appointing that God has. Meanwhile, the one that is dealing with us is here. Until we stop it.
Thank you so much. Ndalo, my brother. Thank you so much for your wisdom on that one. Let's hear from you right about now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome back. Biko, put your radio up and then you go on, please.
My speaker from this month.
Biko, Kabani Rusa.
Because if we got one of the take with him, men are not the poor you. Manaka, you nine are there, Mordecai, the next sentiment, nine are from nine are four for your guy. Up and got on like where here. In that idea, I try one. Yeah, man, if you go on your door, man, if you get it, how much we're not going to want to know that you're down, look at us, I'm listening to you for the lady. And I'm sure you go to there. You look at the man about each other. If you tell me anything, the man, I did a better one. Look at that man, if you want to get the men are not. Then what I'm not on them, who's in the care. Come on, there, take care for the other. I didn't know the other. But more my car. So, I am not going to have a Toyota. Don't go for the money to have to go 1 year. Yeah, we are not out here today. Come on, if I'm going to go around, go back to your guys to the weather with you. Where will we have to do now 1 year? To get the ministry of you on the book around now, not good. Okay, but if you go one of them, condemn wire. When I see April, go back and hear myself. If we can't be with you, I'm not going to get on site. But I'm telling you, I'm going to go on and think of not to plan them. So, another 1 year, yeah, I'm not going to go. Why I don't know. And I don't know when they hear. Yes, Cabra, they cannot go to Baka. Lord, you got water. You got a jagger. Every day they boom, but they go to the devil and not so. That's why the Japan, they are going out to the Kamana. In the governor, I am the Amahanya, because where the job came in, I put it. Could it just put it up when you're around? It's a very low security. You don't come to the American to get the American to sit up. Abama, Mr. Banana, my band. Tomorrow, I don't know. Governor, I don't know. Somewhere where a governor is there to get out in the Sabbath, and now one more than now, when you get with that. But when you enter that, no, very on a phone. Someone of you taking you to work, up with your job, up with your job, I can't blend them with the minister. I spent of that, so not in the governor, I can live wrong on the mayor. I'm hanging them, I got to get to the other, put there. About that, you need to know. And I have my dear, go on my land, then go to get another. But I only been taking you. But you never make it any boom with them about it up there. We are convoy for 20 years. I don't know my name. But now, without the machine and I'm not to talk. I cannot even do this. In the water of
brother. Thank you so much for joining us again this evening. Let's hear from you. What is your take on all of this? And one thing is, I wait for joy, because now even some people bagolog one now, born and one nebo. Most people never idifa. I didn't want to be one na. So some people may see it because no aboniga papa or me put on your 1 year on a very good day. So we must be, objective in all things. What for sentiments in some of the things that we're talking about? Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Hello,
Yes. Good evening. Welcome, my sister. Biko Kabaniru.
This evening program. You know why I'm weak?
Why?
Look at the marriage of problem in this country now. Nobody is safe. And a full-fledged man will come to the public and be sounding like this. The band can be then they are going to. I want to know one Nigeria.
Yes.
Oh,
one Nigeria.
Why is anybody talking like this, addressing the public like this? I listen to other platforms. I listen to political analysis, newspaper reviewers. The state of this country now, what is the food? What did the current president last week that due to the defense headquarters inviting me? But was it not a former president of this country that said that if insurgency lasts for 24 hours, government backing is their magic? Is it not true that told us that the army is neutral? One army officer, I can't remember his name now, told us that you count last year's not. When you did the next name, a crown lawyer, and not. Okay,
okay.
What we say here is what we see on the ground. Now, because now Tinubu and the Asarido Okubo took picture. So, like Asarido Okubo, like in Namo de Carlo, like Asarido Okubo, like Martin Luther King, like Asarido Okubo, like Ibadan, someone Sankara, and other freedom fighters. Is that what it means?
And Alo, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We need to hear from you. What is your take on all of this? 07034 or 07045592210. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome, please. Put your radio off. Okay. Daluma brother. Apa gina bisa ba ki wa gaba zaniru? Okay, Gabani Rusa.
I like him program. Like a program and like a mother Malaysian.
Okay, thank you. Dalo, thank you so much for your encouragement, and thank you for appreciating the program. We need to hear from you. What is your take on all that we are talking about? Remember that we are also talking about Kubara, appointing his the loyalist, someone, the factional leader, speaker of the House of Assembly, as his SSG. What is your take on all of this? Hello.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, my brother. Your name and location, please.
My name is Atiku.
Where?
Onisha.
Okay, Onisha. Please go on, sir.
Okay, I mean, issue of security. When they give people a rifle, that's my own.
Okay.
You understand? Maybe depend on myself.
Okay.
So you give us rifle, maybe depend on myself.
Yes, but you remember, hello, are you there? You remember that I think it's the chief of army staff that said that Nigeria is not yet matured for something like that, a situation whereby that some of us might have this gun now and it to become something else at the end of the day, that Nigeria is not matured for all of this. But anyway, what is your take on all of this? 07034 459334 or 07045592210. We're also talking about the fact that Oyo State Governor Makinde is pissed about the fact that Atiku Abubakar is silent about the bomb blast in Ibadan. a lot is going on in our politics, and we must talk about these things this evening. Fubara swears in ex-factional speaker as chief of staff. What is your take on all of this? Let's hear from you right about now. Hello. Hello. Oh, please call back. Let's hear from you now. 070-3445-9334. Let's hear from you now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Now, Makinde, as a honorable presidential candidate party, yeah, on expect now the person got the bell for if a man you pursue and all of that. And nyawa na-ekwu ya ka Peter Obi bịara pay homage like or not homage Peter Obi bịara bele fa maka ihe mee na ebe ọ nọ wee na-ekwu ya na Peter Obi abịago the president mana nyawa zikwa Atiku Abubakar nya nọ n'ofu party na onwe be ife ọ gwara ya nyawa bụ Makinde kwuru ndị melianụ o kwuru no illegal mining no nyawa kọsụ ya and no residential area ka ha buru those bombs bịa debe ha ji eme illegal mining Dalo, thank you so much for joining us again this evening. 07034459334 or 07045592210. But personally, Atiku Kwesiku something about it. That's the way I'm looking at it. At least Obugodo, you know, he better with it. Or if Ojo Melo Mado. And at this time, Obozi about politics, it's about governance now. So I believe that he's supposed to, you know, talk. Yes, let's hear from you now. Hello. Hello. Okay, please, we need serious-minded people to talk about these things. It's very important that we venture into this as we talk about it. You know, we shape our politics the way it must go. In as much as we must be objective and then talk about, you know, remove sentiment from some of the things, most of the things that we're talking about, everything that we're talking about. Makinde false article silence on Ibadan, you know, explosion. As Nigerians, why not, you know, say, okay, I'm sorry about what happened to you guys and all of that. Why not? It's something that we must look into. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, welcome. Your name and location, please. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, your name and location, please. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, please call back. The network is messing with your line, but please keep the calls coming.
Hello, good
Yes.
afternoon, Martin.
Good evening, my brother. How are you doing this evening?
No problem.
Your name and location. Again,
ihe na-ekwu okwu enwe onye kwuru okwu Christian Fundo o kwuru okwu so na enwere ndụ kedu ihe a na-akpọ ewo nọ na Imo State
ndị ebube agụ kwụsịrị okay
which is true ihe okwu bụ eziokwu
okay okay so kedu ifefa na-emegasị nke ikpeazụ a na-adịrọ mmadụ ndị Imo steeti
yes ife a na-emegasị ndị mmadụ like this transport moto bus ha ga-ebu passengers apụta asụ ndị mmadụ ga-arịpụsi ijukwu wee cross ọha
okay ebe fa nwee checkpoint
yes
okay
anagwa drivers ego agata aka before gị banye moto and nke ọzọ na-ekwu okwu ị na-asọ
so even as Nigerians
isi Atiku kwesịrị ikwu okwu ala Igbo enweghị Buhari kwuru ọkwa Buhari dị ndụ chụgide n'ọchịchị ihe niile mmegide m wee mesịa Buhari kwuru okwu a na-akpọsụsịrị mmadụ na ọ ga-ekwu okwu Atiku like ikwu okwu ya ekwu ya atụ like one dịka Christian Fundo si wee kwu o kwesịrị onye like ikwu okwu ya ekwu ya like is not a force. Buhari chụgide chisie ihe niile ọchị ihe niile arụ niile mere na Naịjirịa ọpọnụ mgbe a na-eji mgbe dịghị ihe ewepụtara ego ndị nwetara afọ Buhari okwuru anything
mgbe chenjiri ego okay
yes mgbe chenjiri ego Buhari nwere anything okwu a na-akpọ ya okwu onweghị okwu
mba okwukwa o belekwalụ with ife na-eme gwa Nigeria na ha ghọta na the process ga-enable the election some of the things okwu mgbe a na the process ga-eme ka the election go ma also n'ihe okwu gasị can't you remember
ebe m na-aga okwu dịka a na-asụ na Atiku kwesịrị ikwu okwu Atiku like ekwu okwu ya likere ya gbachiri onwe nke because he's not a force because Buhari ekwuru most of things is happen n'obodo anyị kịta even this president a na-achịkịta enwere ndị ọ na-ekwu ndị a na-egbuchi na Jos enwere kwụsịrị kedu ihe na-agwụ ya the president kwuru okwu so na nekwenekwe na ihe na-eme nke otu adịsi wee mee ọ dị mma ọkwa ka na-egbu mmadụ na Jos.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Dalo, President Nekukwan from time to time, sometimes. Mana kind of from you, can he make hello?
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Gabani Lusa, I na ni neku.
na Atiku kwuru okwu ihe na-eme n'Ibadan.
Makinde.
Or by force.
Okay.
Mgbe Atiku na-ejefe egwu na kedu solidarity gọvanọ nyere ọmụ ife aka ya na-esi akọnsida otisha na ọbụla maara onye bụ onye ire
mana nke a enwezina anything to do with politics na ndị mmadụ nwụọ
o kwuru okwu atụrụ mgbe agabiga ife ọgabiga kedu mgbe statement o mekro onye solidarity egwu weta ka egwu mana ife mere elu ụmụada onye na-asọpọtụ mụnwa agbago onye ise bata n'okwu ya ma maara ruo na onye ọbụla plen mgbe ọ na-agabiga ife ọ na-agabiga na tribunal ọ bụrụ ịgba nkịtị ime ikwu a si n'ikwu ime mebi United States ka mmadụ pụta okwu ndị wee dị chọ ka okwu consider the reason.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Dalo.
All right.
Dalo. Yes, all the go is let's hear from you. But in as much as I know who to her, Kailo Tekwana, even P2B Jello you have to go better with the governor and the people of your state about if a man Makinde nearly any support when a Japa tribunal. Some you right about now. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, your name and location, please. Okay, please. Oh, please call us back. And And we're getting to the spot where we'll begin to call it a day on this particular edition of Political Views on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. But we can manage just a call a minute before we call it a day today. 07034 or 07045592210. Yeah, Sigelote Naiku, Maka River State Governor Fubara, appointing Edison Ehi as Chief of Staff. Edison Ehi was, the factional speaker of House of Assembly in River State. Followed the bomb explosion in Ibadan. IT Kulon help Bastalo, the aftermath of the Supreme Court, they stipulate properly. Well, now, transmit the election results electronically. No to at the end of the day. A lot of things I could go market today, and one way or the other, you and I we've shaped the polity the way is the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way Monday, 3 o'clock PM, and Saturday, 10 o'clock AM. So keep a date. And don't touch the dial of Ebon at the 103.
My name is Chief Dr. Sir Bob Manuel Udoku Zana Bakrino Gidi.